architecture, and neuroscience. This channel research focuses on the intersection of metaverse technologies, neuroscience, and architectural design, with the goal of understanding how environments influence human perception, cognition, and behavior. Traditionally, architecture has been understood as a physical discipline concerned with form, structure, materials, and function. However, contemporary research clearly shows that the built environment does far more than provide shelter or spatial organization. It actively interacts with the human brain. Light, scale, geometry, spatial configuration, color, rhythm, and movement all influence neurological responses such as stress, attention, comfort, orientation, and emotional regulation. This is where neuroscience becomes a critical framework for architectural thinking. Neuroscience allows us to move beyond subjective design intuition and begin to understand space as a cognitive and perceptual experience. It provides evidence-based insight into how humans actually experience environments not only visually, but psychologically and physiologically. At the same time, the emergence of the metaverse has introduced a powerful new design medium. The metaverse enables immersive, interactive, and multi-user virtual environments in which architectural spaces can be experienced before they are physically constructed. This fundamentally transforms the design process. Instead of relying solely on drawings, plans, or static renderings, designers can now simulate real environments at full scale, allowing users to walk through space, perceive depth, experience light conditions, and respond emotionally and cognitively to spatial qualities. Within this context, the metaverse functions as a pre-construction testing environment, a laboratory where spatial scenarios can be evaluated, compared, and refined. By integrating neuroscience-informed methods into metaverse-based environments, it becomes possible to analyze how different design decisions affect human experience in real time. This includes examining cognitive load, spatial legibility, emotional comfort, stress response, and attention patterns. Such an approach represents a shift from form-centered design to human-centered and brain-informed environmental design. In this framework, architecture is no longer defined solely by physical performance or aesthetic value. It is evaluated by its impact on human well-being, perception, and behavior. This convergence has significant implications across multiple scales and typologies. In residential environments, it can inform the design of spaces that support mental calm, emotional balance, and daily cognitive comfort. In healthcare environments, it offers strategies to reduce anxiety, improve recovery conditions, and support psychological resilience. In educational spaces, it contributes to environments that enhance concentration, learning efficiency, and cognitive clarity. At the urban scale, it supports the creation of spaces that feel safer, more legible, and more inclusive. From a methodological perspective, the integration of metaverse technologies and neuroscience also contributes to more sustainable and resilient design practices. By identifying ineffective or stressful spatial configurations early in the digital phase, designers can reduce costly physical modifications and avoid inefficient construction decisions. This approach to the metaverse is not as an alternative reality, but as a design instrument, a tool that expands our ability to understand and shape real environments more responsibly. Architecture, in this sense, becomes a mediator between technology and human experience. The role of the architect and designer is also evolving. Designers are no longer only creators of form. They're interpreters of human perception, translators of cognitive needs, and curators of spatial experience. This interdisciplinary direction represents a fundamental shift in how environments are conceived and evaluated. The key question is no longer only whether a space is functional, efficient, or visually appealing. The question becomes, how does this space affect the human mind? How does it shape behavior, emotion, and well-being? And how can we design environments that truly support human life? Through this channel, I aim to explore these questions by examining emerging research, global innovations, and experimental design approaches at the intersection of architecture, neuroscience, and immersive digital environments. This platform is dedicated to advancing a more conscious, evidence-based, and human-centered approach to environmental design, one that recognizes space as an active participant in human experience.